Hey guys, Desolator Magic here with some very late, but I guess better late than never, spoilers from today. And I caught a look at least two of them, so I can definitely say that after yesterday's great showing of well-designed, fair, balanced, interesting-looking cards, that absolutely ends today. But you know what doesn't end today? Me speeding through this and misreading all the cards because I have a lot of work to do. No, you can't play Foretold Exiled cards with Tybalt because it says Exiled with Tybalt. Oops, whatever, who cares? That fake snow lightning bolt can't hit people, whatever, who cares, I still hate it. Alright, there's your corrections. Let's jump in with Reflections of Littjara. It's a 5-cost enchantment in blue. As Reflections of Littjara enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. So in other words, copy that creature. What the f*** is this? Somebody needs to lock Mark Rosewater up in a mental hospital. He has an unhealthy obsession with doubling things, and this is a Mark Rosewater original right here, I guarantee it. Tribal decks are the most likely to go absolutely bonkers off the rails if Wizards gives it too much support and too much boost. It's happened before, it'll happen again. And so Mark comes in like, hey guys, you know what'd be great? Double everything, just everything double. You drop in an elf, now you get 2. This right here will be the most banned card from the set, in other formats. Then again, what tribal is even played in blue? Birds? Jinn? Sphinx tribal? I mean, I wouldn't have as much of a problem if this was triple blue 2 generic, but this is 1 blue 4 generic. That's pretty much any other color. So just an unbalanced, pushed, broken disgrace to the game that's going to be a menace to other formats if people bother to splash blue just to play this, which honestly, it's that good. They probably should. Yes, it costs 5. Oh well. Still broken, still pushed, still too good. You can't just take what people are already doing in established decks and say, now you get double of it. You can't do that. That doesn't work. That's not fair. That's not balanced. What the hell were they thinking? Next up, we've got Goldspan Dragon. It's mythic. Oh, good. 5 cost 4/4 flying haste. When it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. Great. Treasures have tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 2 mana of any one color. So there's your doubling again. Great, because we don't already have a toxic-ass dragon that relies on treasures in standard. That was sarcasm. We do have that. That is a thing. It's almost never played in standard, but when you do go up against it, it on blocking is ridiculous, and then as soon as you get like 3 treasures, it can attack 2. The thing is an absolute just mathematical blunder. And here we go, making it worse, but this does cost 5, so... You know, what the hell deck does this go in, but whatever. Next up we got, what the hell is the translation for this damn thing? What's even the name of it? Oh, here we go, Glaciate, maybe. It's a 3-cost snow enchantment aura, enchant land. Enchanted land becomes a snow land, and when enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional mana of any color. So, snow shifting and ramp. I mean, for 3, whatever, okay. If this was 2, that would be pretty messed up. This is going to be mandatory in any snow deck that runs green because a lot of them are like get to 3 snow permanents, and this is one of them. Actually, this is 2 of them because you would enchant a non-snow land to become now a snow permanent. So next up, Calamity Bearer. We already saw this. I threw it in an earlier one. I just wanted to remind you that this is a thing, and Mark Rosewater should be fired. Next up, Giant's Amulet, a 1-drop blue artifact equipment. Neat. When it enters battlefield, you may pay 4. If you do, create a 4/4 blue giant wizard creature token, then attach this to it for free. Otherwise, it has equip 2, and equipped creature has +0/+1 and has this creature as hexproof as long as it's untapped. They're finally starting to realize how broken and impossible to play against true hexproof is. It is 1 step worse than indestructible. So yeah, conditional semi-hexproof where it either costs more mana to target the creature or it only has hexproof some of the time, and that some of the time is as long as you're not using it to attack. That's fine. Still, I mean, we already have the shield, which is causing havoc in the standard meta right now. People are just putting it on their stacks of stupid mutated trash so that you can't even target it, can't even attempt to get rid of it because that's mutate's only weakness. Yeah, that's a bad combo. But those creatures eventually want to attack. Now, you could strap this to a creature that you just don't want to die and then never swing with it because it's, you know, some kind of activated or triggered ability creature. And yeah, this could become cancer for 1 frickin' mana, but it is still 2 to equip. I just think this is going to get more traction outside of giant decks than in it. Next up, we got Bretagard Stronghold. Oh, Bretagard. It's where they make the water filters. Oh, wait, that's Britta, whatever. So Bretagard Stronghold enters tapped. You can tap it for green, great. Then if you pay 1 green and 2 white, which is weirdly specific, tap it, sack it, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. They gain vigilance and lifelink until end of turn. Nice. Activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. So this is kind of like Victor's Envoy, except that Victor's Envoy puts a counter on every creature for free without tapping or sacking once per turn for doing nothing, with no condition. Can you see why I want Victor's Envoy banned? Hell, this isn't even as good as Luminarch. Lifelink is cool, but +1/+1 counters, and then, lifelink and vigilance, cool. +1/+1 is never the difference between, well, I couldn't swing before, but now I can, because you've probably elevated from, I would lose, to, now it'll be a trade. Or maybe from a trade to, now I can get away with it, but that's not very likely. That color scheme is weird as hell. I don't get it. It's only an uncommon land. This wasn't meant to be anything. Next up, Forging the Tyrite Sword. Oh boy, I can't wait to see the Tyrite Sword. So we've got 3 cost here. First is create a treasure, and then is create a treasure. Wonderful. Then search your library for a card named Halvar, God of Battle, or an equipment card. So either one. Reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, 3-turn delayed fetch, and then the whole time you're building up treasures to be able to spend on whatever you go get. Okay. We'll just have to see how good this is. It's impossible to make a call without seeing everything. Next up, we got Raven Form. It's a 3-cost sorcery. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying, and then it has Foretell 1. Finally, a Foretell cost that isn't like, just 1 lower than the cost. I mean, it's 2 lower. It's actually a 66% reduction, which is very important. I kind of want to see a Foretell 0 with like God's Willing or something. So whenever you have 2 mana, you queue this up into the Foretell Exile partial zone-ish pseudo whatever the hell, and then later in the game when they finally bring out something where you're like, no, I can't let you have that, so in other words, Elder Gargaroth, then you zap it into a Birdo. I like this card. Next up, the Trickster's God Heist. It's a 4-cost saga. Step 1 is you may exchange control of 2 target creatures. That's just inherently a disaster. Yes, it's conditional, but you wouldn't cast this unless it's, unless the condition is met. That's why if they made that the 3rd one, it wouldn't be that bad, because maybe your opponent could blow away your last creature or your last good creature, and then that's, it says may, but it would be funnier if they made it mandatory. Then we got number 2 here. You may exchange control of 2 target non-basic, non-creature permanents that share a card type. Saw that coming. Then we've got target player loses 3 life and you gain 3 life, just to piss your opponent off just a little bit more. So you get their best creature, they get your most trash creature. Hopefully you lined it up and this still costs 4, but it is instantaneous on the first effect, which is pretty damn powerful. So this is a story highlight card, it says on the bottom. My guess is that Tybalt steals something, some sword or some equipment or some whatever. I mean, you look at the illustration on the right of this card, that appears to be what happens. And then he uses it to gain the powers of a god, but he's a false god because he's not a real god. And then he becomes known as the God of Lies because he's a trickster little bastard, and because they clearly based him on Loki. So yeah, I think this is going to turn out to be pretty darn good, but I think people aren't going to play it because they always shy away from, what if I don't have a creature I don't want to give them? It's a dead card if I don't have a creature good enough. Well, then you just ignore part 1. It says may, do part 2. Next up, Path to the World Tree. I don't think you can, get to it. I know the realms are basically hanging from the tree, and the tree is the plane, so it's like a 10-part multi-realm plane thing. But I doubt you can just climb from your realm onto the tree. That would be odd, but who knows. So this is a 2-cost enchantment. When it enters battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So, okay. Then if you pay 2 + 1 of every color for 7 total, sacrifice Path to the World Tree, you gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, target opponent loses 2 life, Path to the World Tree deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature, and you create a 2/2 green bear creature token. Really not worth it in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of 2s in there. That's a lot of stuff, but that's also a lot of 2s. I think it's more of a thing if you have it. I mean, if you're pulling off a 5-color deck that you can get to 7 mana without dying in today's meta, the red effect should have been destroy target opponent's land, and the black effect should have been make them discard a card. And you probably should have gained 10 life. Yes, I'm complaining that a card is too weak. I know, I'm shocked. Next up, Tyvar Kell. It's a 4-cost, legendary planeswalker, Tyvar, obviously. Elves you control have tap and add 1 black mana because, of course. They have this weird obsession with making elves the most toxic tribal in the history of the game. +1, put a 1/1 counter on up to one target elf. Untap it. It gains death touch until end of turn. So Tyvar Kell doesn't use black mana, but he's trying to get the elves to do black mana stuff? I'm going to have to read the story. So his 0 ability is create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. So unlimited bodyguards for not a negative. At least it's not a positive, but still. He does come out with 3 loyalty for 4, though. I think that's low. But, I mean, whatever. You know, +1 counter, you could beef up a bodyguard or you could create a bodyguard. So, yeah, okay. And then -6, you get an emblem with when you cast an elf spell. It gains haste until end of turn and you draw 2 cards. Okay. Are we all ready for Elf Ball to get banned in Commander and Modern and Vintage and Legacy and literally every damn thing that exists? Because with all the elf support in the new pushed standard power level, yeah. Next up, we've got the Ringheart Crest, which is also a god on the other side because apparently the god's powers come from artifacts or something. I don't know, I'm kind of inferring that, but it's a 2-drop legendary artifact. As the Ringheart Crest enters battlefield, choose a creature type, and then you can tap it and add 1 green, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type or a legendary creature spell. So any of the type you chose or any legendary at all. That is like weirdly specific. But a 2-drop ramper, I mean, that ain't no joke. Just more elf tribal crap, though. Let's see, what's on the other side? And why does it just say God and that's it? Shouldn't it be like the title of the card? Well, anyway, it's actually Kolvori, God of Kinship, which I guess didn't fit, so they just wrote God, and then on the other side they just wrote Artifact? Or maybe that is supposed to be a type line and I just didn't notice this whole time. I don't know. They call it a DFC modal card, so double face card modal or MDFs, I don't know, whatever. So on the other side, it's a 4 cost, and as long as you control 3 or more legendary creatures, Kolvori gets +4/+2 and has vigilance. Damn. And pay 2, tap it, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a legendary creature card from among them and put it onto your hand, put it into your hand, or onto your hand, I mean, whatever. You do you. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. I mean, it's 6 cards. I was going to say your odds of whiffing with that are pretty high, but it's 6 cards. I mean, that's like 10% of your library if you didn't start the game with 7 cards, which you do, so it's a higher percentage. But this looks good. I mean, Dominaria showed up a little late there, Princess, but, you know, whatever. Somebody will probably play this. It's got to be just all legendary elves. It's got to be what they're shooting for, right? Anyway, next card, we got Hailstorm Valkyrie. It's a 4-cost 2/2 Angel Wizard with Flying and Trample. It has pay 2 snow mana, which is mana generated from the snow permanent. So if I paid 2 of whatever the hell these are, I'm just going to keep calling them chicken nuggets because that's what it looks like if you squint. It gets +2/+2 till end of turn, making it a 4/4 flyer with Trample for 4, which is probably what it should have been in the first place. So this is a flaming dumpster fire garbage card. Next up, Sculptor of Winter. Boy, if people are saying they don't really like this frame, like, yeah, it kind of looks like ice, okay, cool, but just at first glance, you're like, this looks like a misprint. Probably it reminds us of that because there are so darn many. So this is a elf rogue, fantastic. I hate all elves and I hope they all die. I hope their whole realm collapses and falls off the tree and they all go crashing down with it into oblivion. So it's a 2/2 for 2 and snow creature elf, whatever. Tap it, untap target snowland. So there you go. You're all in snow or you're not. Which is funny, because usually you're either all in elves or you're not. So I guess now you have to play snow if you're playing elves, or just don't play this. But it's like a ramp card, but it's kind of not. It works with that other enchantment that makes lands tap for 2, I'll tell you that. Next up, Cosmo's Charger. It's a fairly expensive 4-cost horse spirit in blue. Haven't we seen this before? I don't know, so damn many cards were leaked. So flash flying, cool. Foretelling cards from your hand cost 1 less. That's huge. That is absolutely huge, and can be done on any other player's turn, or any player's turn, so yours included, duh. And then for some reason this has Foretell 3. Why would you not immediately want this in play? So you're gonna pay 5 to make this cost 3 instead of 4. Boy, you'd have to be mana screwed to hell and back to do that. But yeah, cutting in half every Foretell cost, basically, that's huge. Or, well, okay, I mean, there's the Foretell cost, and then there's the Foretell mechanic cost. So this says specifically foretelling cards from your hand. So putting them into exile using Foretell costs 1 less. So you're taking the 2, that's always 2, and cutting that in half to 1. It would be way more powerful if it was the other way around, but this is cool too, because you can just sit there and just absolutely load up. Next up, oh, here we go. The Red God is the most powerful out of all of them in the set by far. I can't believe they're reprinting him. Kool-Aid Man. You may be thinking, a 4/5 with Trample for 4 that has pay to and destroy target wall, not even on a tap ability? Oh no! To which I'd say, oh yeah! That sounded more pro wrestling than busting through a wall, but you know, it's a fine line. There's some crossover. Next up, we've got Koma's Faithful. It's a 3-cost 3/1 elf cleric with lifelink, which is nice. Always good to see a 3/1 with lifelink, because then if you chump with it, you're like, oh, I got a little something out of that. And when it dies, each player mills 3 cards, which is just graveyard loading. Nothing good can come from that, and I am absolutely sick right now in the standard meta of all the resurrection bullshit. People use it to beef up Lura stacks. People use it to just re-ETB a bunch of crap that I really wanted to stay dead. I'm sick of it. I am so sick of resurrecting shit. So this being a resurrection enabler, no thanks. I'm now officially out, and I hate this. Thank God nobody in their right mind would pay for a 3/1 with lifelink that costs 3 mana instead of 2 mana. Next up, Village Rites. It's a 1-cost instant, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature, and then draw 2 cards. Oh good, the best black-red steal my shit and then sack it card ever printed so far. That's great. The standard meta really needed this for 1. Thanks for that. Next up, Seize the Spoils. It's a 3-cost sorcery in red, as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure token. So in other words, overpriced, something about voices. Tormenting Voice, that's what it was. Whatever, if you want to waste 3 mana on most of your turn on this crap, go for it. You just built your deck wrong if you need to rely on this. But I think this is probably like, dump an overflow land or go get a land because I need to toss out some dragons kind of thing. So we'll see. Next up, oh, they did print it, the Prismatic Bridge, which is totally not the actual Rainbow Bridge thing. I never remember the name. Yeah, it's the one from Thor and from all the, movies, and it's like rainbowy, and it's used to, teleport Vikings and superheroes, and, they didn't stick exactly to the lore. It's the glowing road thing, and like a mile down, it goes through a Wendy's drive-through because all the Vikings and the Thor people were like, I want some nugs. That one. Isn't it the Bifrost? There, I just thought of it. I'm not deleting that. Shut up. I'm leaving that in. F you. I wouldn't delete that garbage explanation for all the nuggets in the world, because I filled up on enough Chinese food today to kill a man, and I don't ever want to see food again. So this is a 5-cost, all 5 colors, Skittles Taste the Rainbow, legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card. Nice. Put that card onto the battlefield. That's the beginning of your upkeep too. You still get to draw. This is not a draw step replacement or whatever. Then put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Okay, that is just free casting bullshit. Boy, I was just thinking, you know what Cascade decks need after a couple Cascade cards already got banned? Cascade, but with no spell to trigger it and no mana limit. That's a great idea. Let's do that. This card should be banned immediately from Standard. Immediately. I don't want to play 1 day of Standard with this bullshit sitting in my game, sitting there just, here, free casting a 9/9, oh, free casting a 12/12, here, free casting my Super Friends deck. No. Get this trash out of my game, Wizards. F you. And then on the other side, for some reason, it got this monocolored bitch. So she's a 1/4 for 3 double green. They're doubling down on this being a green card when it is clearly on the other side a 5-color card. But now you need double green to get her out on this side. What even is this? So anyway, Vigilance, tap and add 1 mana of any color. Oh, great. And then other legendary creatures you control have Vigilance and add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, because you don't need them in combat or to do something better. Yeah, this 2-sided card has 1 side, let's be honest. Next up, Koma. Really? That's what you named the Cosmos Serpent that everybody's been talking about, that tunnels through the ground and leaves caves and crap. You named it Koma. I ate so much Chinese food today, I'm almost in a coma. I am literally only awake recording this right now because of Red Bull and Hershey's Candy Cane chocolate bars that I got for 59 cents in bulk at the gas station. Oh, it's the peppermint Christmas ones. They're on clearance. So people acting like this bullshit is the end of the world. This is like Dream Trawler if they gave a shit about making it a fair card. So this spell can't be countered. Good. You just paid 7 for it with double colors. 6/6, cool, whatever. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Koma's Coil. I mean, we've had Planeswalkers worse than that for less mana than that. Okay, I mean, it's still, a free 3/3 every turn is, like, pretty damn good, but, whatever. Then sacrifice another Serpent, choose one, tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. It's about damn time that we got a tap effect that also prevented it from, like, doing anything. Jeez, how long has it been since we've seen that? Like, 26 years? Then the other one is just, this game's indestructible till end of turn. Which, if you're exiling it, isn't going to do shit. So it's like, yeah, like I said, this is Dream Trawler if Dream Trawler was a fair card. Like, if Dream Trawler was designed by someone who had basic Magic fundamental knowledge of what's fair and what's fun to play against. Yes, it's extremely powerful. I've also got another thing to add to that. It costs 7. Then it's completely exposed until the next upkeep, in which, like, then you can create a 3/3 blue Serpent. So, if you want to keep it safe, you got to have another Serpent in play, and then hope it doesn't get, turned into a frog or anything that Hexproof would prevent. Yeah, this isn't even that good of a card. Like, it's good, but it's like 7 good, Next up, well, here it is. At least it's not as bad as we worried it might be. It's the World Tree, which somehow is not legendary. There's one of these. There's one World Tree. There is exactly one. It is like the most important thing in the entire plane and in the entire story. And they didn't strap legendary to it. What the f***? Anyway, the World Tree enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it for green. As long as you control 6 or more lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Fantastic. So we're just going to see Elf Ball 5-color ramp shit with Essica. Great, I'm really looking forward to that. Just kidding, it would have lost to Rogues on turn 4. Right before it gets milled out by Rune Crab, or Hedron Crab, whatever, it's the same damn card. So they got paid Progenitor's cost and tap it, sacrifice the World Tree, search your library for any number of God cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Yeah, that's what, it's just supposed to be Super Friends, but with gods. Who would play that? You would have to be counting on this ability so hard, pack your deck with gods, and then not be able to cast them the rest of the time. Because clearly, like I said, this is like a mono-green deck, and then once you go past 6 in the lands, because, probably have landfall assisting it or something, then you can tap them for all these colors. Although it would have to be purely land-based. I don't know, 2 of the 10 there could be just green from like an elf or the Mana Dork, whatever, enchantment. I don't know. People will probably just throw out Nyx Bloom and light this off with 5 land and win the game. This is just asking for somebody to do something degenerate, but at least this is, I'd almost say, like a disappointment compared to the power level I thought they were going to give it, considering it's the freaking World Tree. And Mark warned us about something that costs 10, all 5 colors duplicated. There's a card called like Door to Nothingness or something like that, or Door to, who knows, Door to getting punched in the face in my Commander game. You pay that exact mana cost, tap it, and then I believe it's target player loses the game. I thought it was win the game, and then somebody corrected that last time, so I'm still too lazy to look it up, but I'll take your word for it, which I probably shouldn't do. So yeah, this is a little bit weaker than that, just a hair. The gods aren't even indestructible. I don't know, like, who would even play this? I don't know. I don't want to see this in a deck, but also, like, who would play this? So next up, we've got Firja, Judge of Valor. There's probably a Norwegian way to pronounce that, but I was going to say, but do I look Norwegian? Yes, I absolutely look Norwegian, but I'm not. By the way, a bunch of y'all, I forgot to mention this in my comment reply video, but after the face reveal video, which you haven't watched it, go watch it. A bunch of you in the comment section said you pictured me as, quote, looking like a lumberjack. I don't know what that means, but I've got shoulders like a frickin' buffalo. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm pretty large, just in general, especially my arms, and I love chopping wood. So I love how people were like, oh, I thought you'd look like a lumberjack, but I was wrong. And I'm like, I literally just came inside from cutting wood. What are you talking about? Anyway, this angel is double black, single white, then 2 more, and I don't know why they ever feel the need to do that. Legendary creature, angel, cleric, flying, lifelink. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Hey, that's kind of nice. Burdened out your hand, she'll refill it. Might whiff, might get some good, might not. You could ramp, you could not. You could grab what you need, or you could completely miss it. That's not, not too good of a card. It's just good. Flying lifelink with only 2 power. It's like, yeah. But yeah, that ability, pretty baller to keep the ball rolling. Definitely. That's decent. Next up, Tormentor's Helm. Yeah, that's just Lord of the Rings. It's a 1-drop artifact. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. When equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to defending player. I'd almost rather have that happen than blocking creature. I am so sick of that effect. And equip 1, so semi-trample. I told you guys, me and Wizards are on the same page that like Trample's a little bit too powerful, Indestructible's a little bit too powerful, Hexproof's a little bit too powerful, so they're like watering it down, and this is semi-trample, where only 1 damage gets through. They're taking all their extreme things that have been very broken and very problematic in the past, and they're watering it down to still neat, still interesting, still playable, but a lot more tame and a lot less game-breaking, and it's about time they move that direction. Too bad the entire rest of the set for like the last 8 sets is going the complete opposite direction. They're going to power levels all the way to the moon and back. But at least one of the staff members designing these cards knows what the hell they're doing and is going in the right direction, I guess. And next up, we've got Refriega en la Ventisca. I do not know any of those words, but apparently it's Blizzard Fight? Okay. So this is a 1-cost snow sorcery, or a Conjuro Nevado. And choose target creature that you control and target creature that you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, told you that's going to be a thing. The creature you control gains +1/+0 and indestructible until end of turn. Pretty roundabout way to just do what they're doing with the totally push to hell and back force fights, where it's not a fight, you just deal power equal to, or damage equal to your power to the opponent's creature, and it can't hit you back, which is bullshit. This is the same crap, but with more steps, and for about half the mana, so okay. But yeah, the creatures fight, so yeah, whatever. Hopefully snow doesn't catch on. Next up, Despertar a los Trollos. Wow, my god, does that overlay look like misprinted blurry ass. It looks like somebody took a foil and accidentally spilled some of that blue Mountain Dew on it. That's right, Despertar a la Trolles just got Baja blasted. So this is Awaken the Trolls. If I wanted to do that, I would just say Xbox is way, way better than PlayStation 5 this time around. People are just impatient and stupid and don't realize how terrible of a company Sony really is. I mean, Microsoft's bad, but Sony is like, damn. So if you bought a PS5 instead of an Xbox and just waiting until they're both not defective Gen 1 trash, then you're an idiot. But I'm definitely not going to say that because I don't want to awaken the trolls. Anyway, this is a 6-cost saga, which is usually overpowered as shit. Yeah, number 1, destroy target land. All right. Step 2, flicker this and destroy all of your opponent's lands. But the real step 2 is put target land from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So in other words, the land you just blew up. Great. Then 3, choose target opponent if they control less lands than you, which I wonder how that could possibly happen. Create 4/4 warrior troll creature tokens with reach equal to the difference in lands. You've got to be fucking kidding me. So destroy your opponent's ability to do anything, ramp up to an even worse spell, and then spam the battlefield with a bunch of 4/4s. In what's clearly already a landfall deck, that's clearly already landfall colors. Great, this would have been so fantastic with Uro. They should maybe unban him. Next up, Iron Verdict. 3-cost instant. It deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. Foretell, 1 white. I mean, for 1 white, if you just want to stuff this somewhere for 2 and then unload it for 1, that is actually pretty funny. But with white right now, you want to spam out 2-cost creatures that gain life and dominate the board state. That's how white wins right now. So I guess this is more suited to a slower mid-range angel deck or something. But I don't know, it could just be a draft card. Who knows? But it's interesting. It is common, so I can virtually guarantee you this is meant to be a draft card. Next up, Tergrid, Diosa del Pavor. So she's a 5-cost 4/5 with Menace. Whenever an opponent sacks a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you can put that card from your graveyard, or you can put a card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So 100% free resurrection. This is not 100% free casting. By the way, it looks like she has the snow frame, but she's not a snow permanent. So this is just some ass quality screenshot from somewhere, a cell phone picture. I don't know. They got to start like giving a shit about who they give these spoilers to, because this is completely unacceptable for this to be spoiled looking like this. You got to be kidding me. Hey guys, I'm a Twitch thought with 117 followers, and this is my card that Wizard sent me. I dropped it in a lake and took a picture of it with my 7-year-old Nokia. You know what? F*** it, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up who did this. Oh, Wizards of the Coast themselves did this on their Magic the Gathering LATAM channel, which is Latin America if white people made up a nickname for it, just like white people made up the nickname Latinx, which, I kid you not, 99% of Latinos say is bullshit that white people need to stop saying. That's not hyperbole. And like literally the number from the poll was 99%. That is the actual number. So they put some bullshit effect around this because they like highlighted in electricity and shit. Yeah, so Wizards did this. My point stands. They should be very careful who they let spoil cards, including their own dumb art department. So anyway, this whole card is just one giant encouragement to use hand discard effects or hand disruption effects, but nobody bothers with those after you've already reached 5. I mean, what are you possibly pulling from their hand at that point? So this is just a garbage nothing card. I mean, it's a 4/5 with Menace for 5. Okay, whatever. But on the other side, we got Farol de Tergrid. That's an awkward placement of the accent mark there. Tergrid. What even is that? Oh, they're suggesting that may have been a typo. I guarantee you the accent mark was a typo, but also they're translating it to Tergrid's lantern, but they wrote Tergrid, not Tergrid. Okay, here's the other problem with this. You know how you translate proper nouns, like from Spanish to English, like the word Jose? You write Jose with a capital J-O-S-E and then an accent mark over the E. You know why? Because it's their word. It's a proper noun. You write it as they write it. Holy shit, it's the person's name. But yeah, in 3 different places, they're saying it's Tergrid and that they accidentally or purposely changed this individual's name to Tergrid for the what did they say? The Latam world. What a bunch of clueless, ignorant, monolingual dumb fucks working there. Seriously. It's like they can't do anything foreign or diverse or anything without royally fucking it up. Because of their own ignorance and their lack of effort after they push diversity on everybody and pretend they give a shit and then, refuse to hire anybody but white people to work at their company. It's amazing the levels of hypocrisy. And the cluelessness while they're all on Twitter saying everybody needs to say Latinx because Spanish is sexist. Thanks, millennial white woman getting offended on behalf of Hispanics. I'm sure they appreciate it. Please proceed, por favor, proceed to shut the f*** up. So anyway, whoever the hell's lantern this is on the other side, it's a 4-cost artifact, legendary artifact, and you tap it and target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So, Torment of Scarabs is back, everybody. This time, though, instead of it being automatic, you have to remember to tap it. Great, thanks. What an improvement. Awesome. But wait, there's more. Pay 4 mana, untap this card. Generate a giant pool of mana, and absolutely obliterate your opponent by upgrading this card to Torment of Hailfire, basically. Wow, this is going to be annoying as hell. Doom Foretold was bad enough, this is even worse. And honestly, she's kind of a massive bitch on the other side too, so I hate everything about this card, including their butchering of the Spanish language. So next up in this pile of garbage, we've got Doomskar Oracle. It's 2+, I guess, 1 white mana? That's, in case you didn't notice, not the white mana symbol. It's like way too small. I'm literally holding it up next to, in Photoshop zoomed up, another white card. That is not the white mana symbol. Is that supposed to be a white snow mana? Is this card fake? I don't know what the hell's going on. Is this a scan? Is this a distant cell phone picture? I don't know what's going on here, but I would be skeptical. So, Human Cleric, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you gain 2 life. Wonderful. Foretell 1. Great. So if that's real, that'll be a pretty big White Life King card, I guess. For 3, it's not that good, and it doesn't have lifelink, so I don't know. It's still a 3/2, though. Next up, Saw It Coming. I wonder if this will have Foretell. Oh, look, it has Foretell. It's a 3-cost. Even those cost symbols don't look right. I don't know what is going on with this. Counter target spell, then Foretell, 2, so. Oh boy, guys, they put counter spell in standard. Except it costs 4. Yeah, that's all we need is people to take mana when they have too much of it and preload a counterspell and then get a discount on it. That'll help the game. That'll be real healthy. The whole point of counterspells that cost 3 and can counter anything is that you have to leave that mana open and that's your penalty and you have to somehow play around that while still kind of winning. But that all goes out the window because now you can just foretell it. Should have just made it 0. Just make it Pact of Negation or, whatever. So thank God that's it for this set of spoilers. Boy, it's just been bad news after toxic card after potential red flag danger card and just garbage today. Just absolute trash. But what else would you expect from Wizard of the Coast? So, got nothing good for you today. Hopefully this set is draftable. I'll see you guys next video.